Every space has possibility, and it's just realizing that possibility. Sometimes those pass through spaces, the spaces that are smaller, are often great opportunities to create a statement and really personalize your home. In this case, this is a back entry. Although it's the most used entry of the home, it was originally painted white while it was through the process of deciding what would happen in this area. How could we tie it to the rest of the home? It was boring. It was functional. It worked, but it certainly didn't add any life to the party. So I'm going to walk you through what I did to this back entry area to really give it life, make it part of the home, and give it that personality so it could be the life of the party. Number one thing you can do is wallpaper. Wallpaper, wallpaper, wallpaper. Oh my goodness, there are so many options. Whimsical, fun, sexy, serious, conservative, small print, large print. You could do, if you have a big enough wall, you could even do a mural. In this area, what I've chosen is a moodier, because I like moody, a moodier print that's not too big. The repeat, it's not a very large repeat. So if you're not looking carefully, it can almost feel like a solid, but it has a lot of movement in it. It's a dual colored print in one of my favorite colors, orange, and that's why I've chosen it. Um, this area not only does it serve as part of the entry, but it hosts the fridge because this is right off of the kitchen. We wallpapered every conceivable surface that wraps around to the office behind the fridge here and into a bathroom, which is also wallpapered. Um, but you can bring the wallpaper uh, to the ceiling. And I love wallpapering ceilings because it adds such dimension to it. But there's another way of doing that where you don't have to, if you don't have enough wallpaper and you don't have to wallpaper the ceiling, but you can still make it feel like part of the walls. And what I did in this case is I took the color in the walls and I brought it up to the ceiling. So it it feels like the wallpaper is continuing up the wall, but actually it goes into paint. And let me tell you, my wallpaper installer was very happy not to be putting wallpaper on this ceiling. They don't like to do it. It looks fabulous, but in this case, we just opted on the walls. To bring in that moody feel in here because the colors are not vibrant, although they're have a lot of depth to in the wallpaper. I've accented the by painting the doors and some trim elements in a dark color. This is Benjamin Moore Witching Hour. Um, I have painted the banister here. I've left the spindles white, and that gives this great contrast. I've also painted all the doors in this area, which there are four. So we have the pantry door, we have the exit door, we have the bathroom door, and we have the office door. They're all in the same color. And it by keeping the trim white, it frames this out so it's like a picture. Makes it a lot easier to for the continuation of the trim into the other rooms because the baseboard trim follows around the corners through this opening, which has no, it's not trimmed out, but it does have baseboard. So that can often be the problem when you're painting, particularly baseboard or crown molding or other trim pieces that carry into the next room. Where is that stop? Even wallpaper, where do you stop? What's the best side to stop on? There can often be a natural stop. When you're talking about doors, the trim can go straight into doors, straight into corners. But if the wall keeps going and then that wall is part of another room, where do you stop? That's a good question. look for a natural stop. And if there isn't a natural stop, don't make a natural stop. Just keep carrying the wallpaper. And the discerning consideration here then is, will the wallpaper or whatever element you're adding to that wall work in the adjoining space? Fortunately, here we had really hard stops. All the doorways stop and really enclose the space. Now, the opening to the kitchen is not trimmed out, and I opted to stop on this side of the opening to the kitchen. Even though that the fridge is in this area, it still works. Part of the reason I did that was to give the lightness to the opening so that the wallpaper wasn't on the inside of it. And it made that opening feel like it's part of the kitchen versus part of this entryway. I also like that stop in this particular in this particular area because wallpaper edges, if they're rubbed, can come away. And it seemed to me that the best way with people going and coming and leaning on the walls, that they were less likely to lean on this side than they were to lean on the kitchen side. And that just not guarantees, but gives me less concern when I have people over. I'm not thinking, oh my God, don't lean on my wallpaper, because you don't want to be saying that to people. You want to be enjoying your house and you want to have people coming in your house. And when you are um, thinking of these little details, you want it to be easy. The other advantage to wallpaper in here, I mentioned at the beginning of this video that the area is white. Well, it's a bit of a tight squeeze up around the staircase. You take your shoes off. So that white wall, that solid painted wall, took a lot of dirt. People were putting their hands all over it. They kick it. They take their shoes off. And it didn't look very good really quickly. This wallpaper, the advantage to that is you don't see it because it's a print, but it's also washable. So if mud or dirt gets on it, I can wash it off. I often get puppy friends coming over and they're shaking here as they come in from the rain. This is great because I can just wipe it. I have ease of mind and I know that it's going to look fantastic after it's wiped, and even if dirt gets on it. Lots of considerations when you're using wallpaper. But my biggest advice to you is be fearless, go bold, put your personality in there and wallpaper. You're going to be so happy. One last insider tip when wallpapering is think about your outlets and your switch plates, because they can often stand out, especially most wall switch plates, etc., are white, and this is a darker color. Look at we did. Okay, yes, you see the screws, but for the most part, we wallpapered this, and you don't see it, and it goes into the wall, and we're not distracted by an element that actually has no design value. It has a functional value, and we need it, but it has no design value. So it is these details that are going to elevate the space when you add your wallpaper, you add your design elements to the space. If you like this video, please subscribe, please like it, leave comments, tell me what you think, because I love sharing with you ideas on how to make your home, how to elevate it, how to bring beauty into your life.